Hello, my gentle viewer. Today we are in my garden, and I wanted to take this time to inspire you to create whimsical, magical atmosphere in your garden. I want to encourage you to try and create a sensory garden, not just full of beautiful nature, but also different pieces of decor that sound good and look good and create a little bit of fairy tale-like or enchantment sensation. It's especially wonderful if you have children visiting your garden, but not necessarily all adults love these little trinkets, and as I call them, pieces of jewelry for your garden space. So why do we do this? We want to invite curiosity, a bit of a sense of magic and enchantment and relaxation into the garden. Of course, first we do that with proper landscape design and different plants. But today we'll talk about specifically things that you can just add very quickly to create destination points that sparkle in the corner of the garden and just catch your eye, and you just want to go and see what is that and go explore, and that takes you to different parts of your yard. I'll show you some examples. So let's talk about wind chimes. Wind chimes bring sound, color, texture, and a lot of interest into your garden. I have multiple different chimes around my garden at different tones, made out of different textures, and I find it to be so wonderful. It's like listening to a concert on a slightly breezy day like today. So I'll show you some different examples. Here's an example of glass chimes and how delicate the sound can be if you just let it move in the breeze, ever so gently, ever so slightly. The birds all around me right now, I think they're very curious about what it is that this lady is doing in our yard. They're very, very close in here, which is wonderful, I think. Adds a bit more charm to our video. So this one has colored glass pieces, as you can tell, a bit of nautical theme here. But they have clear ones. There's so many different options in chimes of this style. They hang on silicone threads, so they're quite sturdy. I would bring these back during a very windy day, or hide them somehow, or place them against the wall so they just don't bang too much, because too much could be too much. But in a not most breezy corner of your garden, these will make for beautiful movement, almost like water movement, right? Look. That one's trying to catch our attention too. Let's go bring it towards us. So this one, I don't actually have to do much work. It'll display to you exactly what it's capable of. So this is a tuned chime, and I would highly recommend purchasing tuned chimes because they actually tune to sounds of notes. So you will actually listen to melodies being created versus just offbeat, untuned sounds. So one chime can make a big difference in the whole garden since the sound travels quite far. Such a beautiful, magical sound. Almost sounds nostalgic, almost a little sad, which is not necessarily what I wanted to bring up front, but this one I believe is called Crystal Lake. The specific chime is supposed to resemble the sound of a crystal lake. I feel like it does that. Ever so gently, melody is played. Here's another gentle chime, and this chime has been in my garden for a few years now, so it's a bit weathered, but the amount of joy that it brings me with its little trickly sound when you walk into the garden, it just gives you chills. It greets you, reminds you it's there in case you forget about it. You'll notice they all different tones, different textures. And just a overall very beautiful sound, isn't it? Chimes can also be very different textures and made from different materials. So I have this one made out of seashells. And the clicky clacky sound. This one lives in my yard, so it's a bit beat up. But it's the most charming click clack sound. It's not harsh. It's not loud. From a distance, it's barely heard. And it's very different from metal chime. It's more dull, doesn't have a melody to it, but it does create a sound of movement and just an enjoyable sound to me. I like the different textures of sounds. I also have one that's made out of coconut, and that one, the clicky clackiness is something different. It's such a earthy sound. It's rich. It does not have a melody, but it gives it again a different layer to your garden. It's it just gives it like a different dimension. So I hope you enjoy the chimes in my garden, and they bring so much joy to me, to my guests, to my children, and I probably could get as many chimes as I could, but I try to be very picky about my chimes and only get the ones that really make an impact. So get yourself a chime, and it would remind you of magic, of childhood enchantment. Okay, so next we can talk about more whimsical things that are definitely more cartoonish. So like everything made out of teapots. I have these bird feeders. I'll show you another one in a second. And I tuck them around my yard in unexpected places. Birds don't visit these yet. I'm hopeful they will one day, but for now they just bring joy to me and my family. And again, it becomes sort of a destination. You see it hanging in the background and you wonder, what is that? And it's a teapot. That can be a birdhouse or a bird feeder. You can put the feed inside. So here's another one of these teapots that has an opening. That's a birdhouse / bird feeder. You can use it for either option. And again, it just hangs like this, moves in the wind, and just brings all the joy, all the fairy tale-like sensations. My kids love to go check it out to see if anybody lives in it. We'll see how it goes. Maybe somebody will come visit us in these cute little teapots. We do create magical fairy tale gardens with my daughter, and we have these little houses that we have set around the garden, and we create everything specifically around it. And sometimes we come to check if anybody came by and if something's moved around, and sometimes they do, and I don't know who that's doing that. It cannot be somebody who does the Santa, right? No. So we have these figurines that are so charming. We have fairies, I'll show you. We have beautiful fairies around our yard, like this one. Some of them get broken pieces, unfortunately, but we try to do our best to fix them. This little bunny creature has its foot missing, but together they're so cute. And wooden mushrooms, also something that I like to include. Natural materials feel right when they're placed in a garden. They do unfortunately degrade quicker because of the nature of them, but they make for, again, very whimsical, very playful yard. And again, my personal opinion is that you shouldn't take it seriously sometimes, especially if we have children. It makes it like something to look forward to. It makes a new magical spot. They will play with it like a dollhouse, move pieces around, create rooms for fairies, and wait in excitement for the fairies to actually visit their garden. And I think that it's so important to continue the sense of fairy tale, the sense of magic, and really sometimes even believe in it yourself a little bit. Wouldn't that be nice if we all felt a bit more magic in our life and just believed in magic more? This has been a new addition to our garden, this beautiful frog. And he reacts to movement. So when you walk by him or move him around, he makes the croaking sound. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. Very cute and actually just another option to include the sound, a different sound into your garden. And again, find something that will wait for you for your arrival. You place it there, forget about it, and then it surprises you. Plus you can find out whether or not you get animals at night, because you will hear it croaking at night sometimes. And now let's talk about the true jewelry in the garden. Anything reflective. Pieces of glass, of plastic that have edges, sort of prismatic quality to them, will make movement, will catch the light, will make, I cannot stress enough, it looks like jewelry in your garden. Looks like beautiful chandelier earrings suspended down the trees. They blow in the wind, create little tiny sun bunnies. We call them in Russian sun bunnies. So I call them sun bunnies too because they jump around. Let me see, can I find the sun here? Not too much. I'll show you out there. Or something with a metal element to it, like this one, and a more colorful etching, colorful film on it. Same thing. You can see it glisten, shine, bedazzle all around your yard. It looks so magical, let me tell you. It will catch everybody's eye. Brings so much attention. Or I have this one, which is sort of chandelier almost, like construction on this beautiful wooden post. This is handmade at my local, by my local craft ladies. I purchased it during a garden tour recently, and I'm still thinking of where I'm going to hang it, but I know I'm going to look at this and smile every single day. First of all, I met the ladies who made them, and they were making it right in front of everybody, and it was so wonderful to see. First of all, to support somebody local, especially an artist. But of course, there's a lot of similar things online for convenience. So when this blows in the wind, it truly makes it for a jewelry statement. It glistens like jewelry. It even makes a bit of a sound, which is so charming and calming and non-invasive, so it's not a strong sound. And it creates sparkle. Sparkle in the garden is magical. It makes it seem as if there's a little fairy flying around, bedazzling everything with her magic powder, or magic stardust, I should say. So, is there one thing that stood out to you? Is there something that you have enjoyed in this video? My microphone's falling down. It's a slightly different format, but I just wanted to share the excitement of spring with you. The excitement of making things beautiful in whichever way you can. So you don't just add flowers and roses and water feature. You can even craft things with your own hands. Beaded necklaces look amazing in the garden. You can create chimes out of different materials that you already have. I'll show you some examples on the screen. How you can do it with utensils, or with pencils, or with different, really, your imagination is unlimited. So you can come out, create, make something beautiful for yourself, for your guests, and for those you love that will see it. I think that we can use more fairy tale and magic in our life. Include things with intention, with gentleness, and just make it lighter and more pretty and more beautiful and more playful. So I hope you have enjoyed this video today, and thank you for hanging around in my garden with me today. I hope this was pleasant and interesting and light and airy for you. Happy magic making!